Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to be doing part 3 of chapter 7, which is scientific and artistic achievements in Southeast Asia. What are the learning objectives for this lesson? Number 1, you need to know what a golden age is. You also need to know what the conditions are that leads to a golden age. And of course, you need to know all the different scientific and artistic achievements that each of the 3 ancient kingdoms had. So first, can anyone share with the class, what is a golden age? A golden age is a period where there is a flourishing of achievements in the arts and the sciences. And arts and sciences, I already went through with you, arts is not just drawing and painting, but it's everything to do with things which are beautiful. So that includes literature, that includes painting, that includes theatre, it includes textiles and cloth and architecture and sculpture, everything which has something to do with appreciating beauty. So it's the flourishing of arts as well as the flourishing of sciences. As I went through with you, sciences also means other things like mathematics, like calculations, like metal work, everything to do with solving the mysteries of the universe, everything that has something to do with calculating, with finding out more, with inquiring, with experiments, all that would be sciences. And a quick recap of what some of the golden ages are. Followed by the conditions leading to a golden age. Moving on to the scientific achievements of India, a brief recap. They did mathematics, pi, zero and decimal system. They did astronomy. For example, the Indian mathematician who was able to discover a lot of things about the world. For example, Earth is round, that Earth revolves around the sun. They also did metallurgy, which is working with metals, and the most famous example would be the Iron Pillar of Delhi. Right? Iron Pillar of Delhi, which until today scientists still study to see how we can improve our metal making processes. You also had plastic surgery. So plastic surgery in ancient India developed around 600 BC. And it really didn't reach the rest of the world until sometime around the 18th century. So it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years before Europe, before the Europeans ever learned about plastic surgery. The Indians were doing it. And as you know, the reason behind that was because of the government, right? So the government under Chandragupta was very, very strict. And if you did not pay your taxes, what will happen to your nose? What will happen to your mouth? What will happen to your ears? All of them might be cut off. And plastic surgery was actually the doctor's way of helping these people try to recover their proper faces. The artistic contributions would be, for example, the Ajanta caves and the Ellora caves, which would be in the 2-page spread of your textbook. It would be in the literature like the Vedas, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. The Vedas, which was written about the Aryan gods, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, which is based on Hinduism, and much later you have the Shakuntala, which was written by this man called Kalidasa, and all that is in your textbook. We also learnt about how the ancient Indians could make beautiful sculptures using stone and bronze. For example, the Sleeping Buddha, which is in the Ajanta caves, and this is one of the Buddha statues which has influenced a lot of artists, a lot of temples all over Southeast Asia. Of course, the ancient Indians were also the ones who first discovered how to grow and process cotton to make it into cloth. not only did they make it into cloth, they also figured out a way how to dye the cloth in a way that the dye will not run. Because nothing's more irritating, right? You have a beautiful cloth design, and then you put it into the wash, and then you take it out and everything's all runny. So the ancient Indians actually discovered a way of stopping the dye from running. And even though it's not stated in your PowerPoint slides, the ancient Indians also knew how to embroider. Now let's take a quick look at some artifacts from India which can be found at the Asian Civilization Museum. For example, the Gupta coins. Take a look at how pretty they are. All these 8 coins in this picture, they are actually from the Asian Civilization Museum. You can take a look at it if you go there. It's under the Indian Gallery. And if you look very closely, each of the coins, there's a carving on it. It's made of gold. So these are very, very valuable coins. And you can see pictures on the carving. So take a minute to take a good look at the coins and tell me or tell your partner what this tells you about ancient Indian society. What can you learn about ancient India by looking at the coins? Moving on to sculptures. Same thing. Ancient India was very, very good at making sculptures, and take a look at how beautiful these sculptures are. These are also examples of sculptures from ancient India that you can find at the ACM. Both of these pictures show images of Hinduism. So, as I already mentioned, most of the time, the sciences and the arts from the ancient societies, they were heavily influenced by the religion or the philosophy. And here is an example of sculpture which is not Hindu, but if you look very closely, you can see the picture of the Buddha. So this would be Buddhism. And now let's move on to ancient China.